Hi guys, this is a quick video to show you how to add the time text object in the scene with TimeKeeper. So this is a new scene, and the first thing we want to do is add a text UI element to our scene. So we'll add that in here, and then we want to make this text object here a TimeKeeper clock. So we'll go into the scripts folder, and we're going to fish out the time manager script and attach that to the text object we've created. If we go to the text object, you can see we have the time manager script, and here we can set the properties for the text. So if we don't set any of the properties and we just leave it blank, we'll get some default values. So if we go to the text object, we can see here in the scene, and click play, we get January 1st, 2018, and it's set to increment by minutes at the moment, so we just see the hours and the minutes. So if I take you back to the properties within the text object, we can set the starting minutes. So we'll set that to 20, so we've got 20 minutes. We'll add some seconds in here as well, so we'll also set that to 20. We've got the starting hour, so again, we'll set that to 20. So far we should have 2000 hours, because this is a 24-hour clock, 20 seconds, 20 minutes, and we'll set the start date. And as the documentation describes, the start date has to start with the month, so we'll go for March, and it's followed by the day, so that should be something like this, the 10th. We're going to set the year to 2020, so we're looking at a year in the future, and then we'll press play so we can see how it renders. And we can see, if I go to the scene view, we have March 10th, 2020 at 20 minutes past 8 in the evening. So say we want to have this text move forward in time. We have a few options available to us here in the properties. So first of all, we need to set the increment speed. So the increment speed is the interval at which time moves forward. So this is a float value. If I set this to 1, then time will move forward every real-world second. And if I was to set this to 1.5, it will do the same thing every 1.5 real-world seconds. So any value which is closest to 0 is fastest. So if I was to set this to 0.5, we'll have a faster increment speed. So I'll leave this at 1 so that we've got it incrementing it every real-world second. And I wanted to increment on the hour. So if I select this tick box, it will move us forward every hour on every increment. So this should move us forward every hour per real world second. So if I go ahead and press play again, we've got the text here, and it's moving forward on the hour at a rate of 1 real world second. I can increment it on a different value, so I could increment it per minute. Press play. We should see that time moves forward on the minute every second. And I could instead increment by the second. It will do the same thing on the second unit. Just extend that a bit. So you can change which unit time moves forward on. And obviously, if you are moving on any of these units, it will increment the measurement above it. So once this reaches 59 seconds, it will increment the minute, and vice versa for the other units. Once the minute reaches 59 minutes, it will increment the hour, and once the hour reaches 23 hours, it will increment the day. And obviously, when we reach the end of the day on December 31st, we'll increment the year. One thing to note is that we can't have 2 or more incremental methods set. So if I try to increment by the hour and increment by a second, it will throw an error. So we'll see an error in the text, and we'll also see an error in the console. So don't try and do this. That's pretty much it for the clock. I'll do another video which will explain a bit more about how we can schedule events to run off this time using coroutines. But for now, that's everything. Thanks a lot.